Welcome back to the cryptoworld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, while Bitcoin is still playing out the larger bearish trend, we're now seeing another signal again flash in the short term, while Ethereum is potentially repeating history right now. So I'll be talking about all of that and more later in the video, so definitely watch to the end. First of all, taking a look at the 4-day Bitcoin chart, and over the last 1 day, nothing much has changed here on this time frame. So right now, the super trend indicator is still sitting in the red, indicating a larger bearish trend on the larger time frames. And we can see here on the 2-day Bitcoin chart, we're still obviously seeing lower highs and lower lows, which is basically the definition of a bearish trend. And so, of course, over the last 1 day, it's not like this trend has really changed here on the larger time frames. At least for now, we're still looking bearish in terms of the larger trend at play. But as of right now, we do have this line of support still sitting at around 52,500, and this line of resistance sitting at around just above $68,000. And of course, during the larger bearish trend, we can see the occasional pump back to the upside or slight bullish relief here and there during the larger bearish trend. And if we're taking a look at this daily Bitcoin chart, over the last 1 day, we've basically seen sideways price action here in the DXY, in the US dollar index, which basically means we don't really have a lot of new information to pay attention to on this chart right here over the last 1 day. And so if we're taking a look at this daily Bitcoin chart, obviously we've continued this short-term pullback again over the last 1 day, almost exactly down towards this area of support, which is sitting in between around 56 to 57,000. And so far, we have found some support at just above 57,000. And so once again, at least for now, that is the current support that I'm paying attention to here in the short term. But if we start breaking below this area, so if we start seeing a confirmed break below around 56,000, then in that case, we should be expecting a move down towards around 54,000. And below that level, we have this significant area of support in between 51 to 53K. But once again, at least for now, we do have support at around 56 to 57,000. And as for short-term resistance, based on the volume profile indicator, we could find a small amount of resistance right here at about 59,500, but above 59.5K, we have more resistance in this price range in between around 60 to 61,000 based on previous support now acting as new resistance. And we also have more resistance at around 62.9K and 64,500. And if we're zooming closer into the short term, looking at the 4-hour Bitcoin chart, we can see potentially a new bullish divergence pattern forming here in the short term. Now, obviously, if you watched my last video, I said just yesterday, right around here, give or take, that the previous bullish divergence right here was effectively invalidated. We're seeing an invalidation signal with a breakdown here in the RSI. And so once again, like I said yesterday, that previous bullish divergence right here that was formed between these two lows, that effectively invalidated roughly around 1 day ago. And since then, obviously, we did see a further short-term pullback, creating a new lower low in the price of Bitcoin. But what this has now done is actually start to form a new bullish divergence with obviously a new lower low in the Bitcoin price, but also, at least for now, the RSI is still currently forming a higher low based on this previous low right here, which is technically another bullish divergence that is potentially forming. But it is important to understand, I want to make this clear, that at least for now, this potential new bullish divergence is not yet confirmed. We still need to confirm this new bullish divergence by seeing at least 1 to 2 green candle closes actually confirming here on the 4-hour chart or the 6-hour chart, for example, because this is also visible on the 6-hour time frame. Because at least as of right now, we have not confirmed any new green candle closes here in the Bitcoin price after confirming the new lower low in the Bitcoin price, which means the higher low has not yet been confirmed in place in the RSI, because by default, the RSI goes off candle closes. And so once again, in order to confirm this new bullish divergence that is forming right now, in order to confirm it and start to play it out, basically we need to confirm the higher low in place in the RSI by seeing a bit of a bounce back to the upside in the RSI. And that will confirm if we see just a couple of green candle closes confirming in the price action. And so at least for now, this is just something to pay attention to, which could potentially confirm very soon. And if it does confirm, then we're likely going to see a little bit of a relief here in the short term during this larger bearish trend. So of course, a bullish divergence by itself, as I always say, is not enough to confirm a new bullish trend reversal. But if it does confirm, it is enough to expect at least a bit of a relief in the short term, possibly over a couple of days or so, in the form of some sideways price action or a slight bullish relief in the short term if it does actually confirm. And remember, at least for now, all of this is still currently occurring within a larger bearish trend. But believe it or not, no matter what direction the price goes here, you can actually make money in crypto. For example, even if the price is dumping, you can make money using short positions and things like that. And personally, I take those sort of trades over on Bybit. So I'll make sure to leave a link to Bybit down below this video in the description and in the pinned comment. And if you use that link down below this video to make a Bybit account and deposit on that account, then you can get up to a $30,000 deposit bonus, but only if you use that link down below this video. And also, if you use that link, it'll take you to this page right here, which is a massive lucky draw happening right now over on Bybit, where you could potentially win up to $100,000 or potentially some free Bitcoin or Ethereum or USDT or even a trip to an F1 race just by trading crypto using the link down below this video. And so if you're going to be trading crypto anyway, you might as well check this out. Once again, first link down below this video. But for whatever reason, if you cannot access Bybit or if you cannot KYC on Bybit, there is another exchange called Bitget, which is currently offering a 5,500 USDT deposit bonus. And on Bitget, you don't need KYC, which means if you're in the US or the UK, for example, where you might not be able to access Bybit, you can access Bitget. So I'll leave a link to Bitget down below this video in the description and in the pinned comment. And if you use that link below this video, you can also get an exclusive 10% discount on all trading fees on the exchange, but that is only if you use the link down below this video to make a Bitget account. But with that being said, taking a look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, and over the last one day, we've taken out some more liquidity to the downside here, and at least for now, we still have a decent amount of liquidity just below the current price in the high 56k price range, more specifically around 56,500 to 57,000, give or take. We still have some liquidity right there, which is likely going to be taken out over the next short term here, especially if we fail to confirm this bullish divergence. And so once again, overall, because the trend is bearish, we should be looking towards bearish price targets as of right now, like liquidity to the downside. But as for liquidity to the upside, we still have a small amount of liquidity at around $60,000, more liquidity at around $61,500, and a decent amount of liquidity at around 62.5k to 63k. But remember, even though we have liquidity to the upside, this alone is not necessarily enough to expect a massive move straight up towards those levels, because remember, at least for now, the trend is currently bearish. And also do remember that between the current price and those higher levels of liquidity, there are other levels of resistance along the way where the price can also struggle at. And with that being said, if we're taking a look at the Bitcoin and crypto funding rates, what's very interesting right now is the Bitcoin and crypto funding rates on most exchanges are currently negative, which means at least for now, there's a very high demand to short the crypto market and not many people wanting to long the crypto market, which basically means a lot of traders out there are currently very bearish and not many people are actually bullish, at least in the short term. And so due to this reason, it's becoming expensive to hold and maintain short positions, and the long positions out there are actually getting paid those funding rate fees. And so what this actually means is if this bullish divergence actually confirms with a couple of green candle closes here in the short term, which once again, at least for now, has not happened, but if it confirms, we could see a slight little short squeeze here. Now, I don't necessarily expect a massive bullish movement, but once again, we could see a slight relief here in the short term over the next 1 or 2 days if this bullish divergence confirms, especially now that funding rates are currently quite negative. But with that being said, taking a look at Ethereum on the 3-day time frame, and like I've been saying for a long time now on the channel, the larger trend is still bearish, forming lower highs and lower lows. But of course, during the larger bearish trend, we can see the occasional bullish relief or pump back to the upside or sideways consolidation here and there during the bearish trend. And as of right now, we are currently breaking below this key level of support right here, which was sitting at around 2450 to 2.5k, which means it's becoming increasingly likely that we're going to see a move back down towards this golden pocket again, which was previous significant support sitting in between around 2150 to 2.2k. And obviously over the last few weeks here with this sideways consolidation, we have actually seen a reset here in the RSI, at least a little bit, from very close to oversold territories just a few weeks ago here on the 3-day Ethereum RSI. And so right now we technically have more room to the downside because we have seen a reset, giving us more room to the downside. And we can see something similar to that here on the 8-hour time frame. Obviously, as I said, around half a week to nearly 1 week ago, we basically reached oversold territories here in the 8-hour Ethereum RSI. And pretty much any time where this has happened in the past few weeks, over the last month or so, effectively this is telling us that we're at some sort of local low in the price, and we're due to see a slight relief, at least for the next few days. But ultimately, this does not tell us that we're at the bottom for the bearish trend, because as we've seen in the past, ultimately we've made new lower lows later on after we've seen a little bit of a reset here in the RSI, giving us more room to the downside later on, which is basically what has happened just over the last 1 week or so. But what is also happening right now is a new bullish divergence forming here on the 8-hour time frame, with lower lows in the candle closes in the price of ETH here on the 8-hour chart, and higher lows at least currently forming in the 8-hour Ethereum RSI. But at least for now, this is not yet confirmed, but it is currently forming. And the last time we saw this actually happen was right back here near the beginning of August. And obviously we can see how this previous bullish divergence played out over the next few days, even over the next few weeks, basically in the form of a short-term bullish relief during the larger bearish trend. And so once again, at least for now, this potential new bullish divergence has not yet confirmed, but it is currently forming. So it's something to pay attention to, but nothing to really act on, at least as of right now, until it actually confirms. And if we're zooming further into the short term, looking at the 6-hour time frame, obviously we're still seeing this bearish move, this bearish break to the downside from this rising wedge pattern, which still gives us a technical price target at around 2.3k, as I've been saying over the last half a week or so. But obviously, it's not often that the price just goes in a straight line straight towards the price target. Oftentimes, we see these slight consolidations here or there during this bearish movement. So at least for now, we still have an active price target at 2.3k. But what we are also seeing right now on this 6-hour time frame is an even smaller bullish divergence forming right now, with lower lows in the price in the candle closes, which the lower lows has been confirmed in the price. But as of right now, we still need to confirm the higher lows here in the 6-hour Ethereum RSI by seeing at least a couple of green candle closes confirming here in the price. And so once again, as of right now, all of these bullish divergences here on the 6-hour chart, the 8-hour chart, and the bullish divergence for Bitcoin, these are all signals that are flashing in the short term, but not yet confirmed. We still need to wait for more confirmation to confirm these signals and expect basically these signals to actually start playing out. But remember, even if this new bullish divergence does actually confirm here in the 6-hour time frame, and if we see a bit of a relief from the bearish trend over the next few days, even if that happens, at least for now, if we're zooming out, this is still all currently occurring within a larger bearish trend. And with that being said, taking a look at the price of Solana on the daily time frame, and obviously over the last few days here, we've seen a perfect break to the downside below this previous area of support, which should now act as new resistance in between 139 to 143. And by the way, above that area, we also have more resistance at around 159 to 163, which is pretty much exactly where we rejected from as expected, which is what I talked about here on the channel even before we saw that rejection. And obviously what I've been saying over the last few days here on the channel is now that we've broken below this support at around 139, we should be expecting a move back down towards this area of support in between 120 to 128. And so far, at least as of recording this video, we've seen an exact perfect drop as expected down towards around 128. And that's pretty much exactly where we are currently seeing a slight bounce from. So right now we're finding support at this area of support as expected, after seeing that exact movement to the downside towards this area of support as expected. And so now that this has played out pretty much perfectly, what do I expect moving forward? And well, first of all, over the next 1 or 2 days here in the short term, I do expect the price to actually find a decent amount of support in this price range, whether it's at the top of this price range at around 128, which we're seeing as of recording this video, or whether we dip a little bit further into this price range and find some support. Either way, I do expect a lot of support around this price range in between 120 to 128 based on previous significant support in the price of Solana. And so what that means is, at least for now, the short-term momentum is still bearish, but we're likely going to see a slowdown in the bearish momentum in the coming days due to the fact that we're now running into significant support, which is basically the low end of this massive sideways price range here on the daily time frame. So at least for now, the much larger trend is still currently relatively neutral, forming relatively horizontal lows and horizontal highs in a massive sideways price range. But if we start breaking below 120, then that would be an extremely bearish signal for Solana on the larger time frame. So if we break below 120 with confirmation, so candle closes below 120, expect much more bearish price action for Solana following a break below 120 for months for the price of Solana. But once again, as I just said earlier, at least in the short term, I do expect a bit of a slowdown of the bearish momentum here in the short term, now that we're running into significant support for the price of Solana. But that does not necessarily mean we're going to flip massively bullish again. It just means a slowdown in the bearish momentum, but ultimately we still have a lot of resistance above the current price. And if you want to actually trade these moves to profit no matter what direction the price is going here, once again, use those links down below this video if you want to claim those extra bonuses over on those exchanges. And if you want to actually know how to trade crypto, no matter if the price is bullish, bearish, or chopping around sideways, then make sure to watch these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how you can profit from bullish or bearish price action using long positions or short positions. And the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action. But anyway, that is everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.